Hello, we're Galactic Fog, and we believe in helping enterprises future-proof their applications and infrastructure. Today I'm going to show you a demo of our platform, which is comprised of a management layer, an integration framework, and a micropath that's integrated in. At Galactic Fog, we believe that applications should be built primarily on open source, using containers and lambdas, with integration serviced by a variety of microservices that handle your needs with a simple adapter framework. We believe that everything should support DevOps native right out the gate. And we believe all this should be done on a set of infrastructure that's cloud provider agnostic, that you can just layer onto any infrastructure as a service offering, any public cloud, any private virtual layer, or bare metal servers. And we believe that things should be vastly simpler than they are today. Now let me switch over to the demo. And here I'm going to log in. When you first get started, you'll see that we have a set of organizations at the top level. These organizations can be nested as deeply as you want. You can decide who's a member of these organizations by simply setting a set of ACLs. These are mapped to AD or LDAP or SAML or OAuth, whatever your backend authentication store is, and you can configure your entitlements. We can drill into that organization Galactic Fog, and you can see that there's sub-organizations. We can nest these organizations as deeply as you need. At some point you need to deploy resources, and those go into a workspace. Creating a new workspace or a new environment is super easy, as you see. If I drill into the demo workspace, you'll see that underneath workspaces we have a set of environments: production, QA, and dev. If I take a look at the production environment, first we'll look at the providers. Providers are how we expose resources in so that we can manage things. You'll see that we have a Lambda provider and a Kong provider. I'm going to create a new provider. We'll call this our container as a service provider. And we have to select which provider type that we want. There's a variety that we support, and we have an SDK for building new ones. So we'll select a Marathon provider first. Give it some credentials, and give it a location. And that's all we really need. We now have that container as a service provider in place. And I can come here and say I want to deploy a container. We'll do an Nginx one. Give it a little CPU, a little bit of memory, and open up a port. And that's all the configuration we need. We're going to deploy it to that adapter that we just set up, and we'll just go ahead and launch it. It's currently in the process of scaling, and this will turn green in just a second. And it's green. And now we can open up another, and we see there's our Nginx server. If I come here and destroy it, you'll see that it's gone. And refreshing, we see that nothing's going to come back. It's hung. And that's because we just deleted our container. Lambdas work very similarly. Here I'll come and bring up a Lambda. I don't have any created in this environment, so we'll create one. Give it a name. We select a runtime. Here we support Java 8, Node.js, .NET CLR, Go, Scala, Ruby, a whole bunch. We'll leave this one today as a Node.js. We can pull your code out of any kind of repo, so S3, GitHub, whatever makes sense, as long as it's accessible over the network. We can also run inline code. I'm going to do that here. Hello world demo. We don't need that much CPU for this, or that much memory. Lambdas are very small. And we'll put this out on a API provider that we have set up. You have to give it an endpoint. No domain, it's a get method, and no security. And that's it. We now have a URL where we can access it. If I bring up this, behind the scenes it's creating a container, putting it in a load balancer, and connecting it. And there is the code that we just wrote. I can jump back here and go take a look at our lambdas and delete it. And the lambda is gone. The first request is about 3 seconds, and after that it's as fast as you need it to be, 100 milliseconds or just however fast the lambda is to execute. So that's it in a nutshell. The architecture for this is very simple and straightforward. In your data center, all of your nodes run the exact same thing. All of your servers are identical. There's a distributed file system, and we support a variety of those. And we use Apache Mesos for deploying your containers and Lambdas and keeping them alive. All of our services run as containers. There's an HA proxy that does the load balancing, the firewalling. And we run your applications here just like ours. When you want to deploy your application, we can pull the application blueprint and configuration out of our management layer and deploy them. If a node dies or your app dies or fails a health check, you'll simply restart it on another node and you continue forward. The integration framework behind all of this is very sophisticated, and we think this is how everything should be built. We have a set of microservices for things like security, task management, event streams, config and change management, all the way down. And these all have adapters that you can plug various things in. We built our own services on top of this, so for application microservices for things like DNS or creating SSL certificates or putting things in a load balancer, and you can use those. And we have a variety of adapters for those as well. And that's the platform in a nutshell. If you're interested in seeing further demos or working with us, please contact us at sales@galacticfog. Thank you for your time.